And trending right now is they're back. That's right. Full Scale Sports Radio is back. Mike Pendleton here along with my co-host Rob Foster. We're going to get right into it. We are joined by special guest, Browns wide receiver, Mr. Jordan Norwood. Jordan, are you there?
I'm right here. How you guys doing?
We're doing really good. It's an honor to have you on. We've got plenty to talk about. And because we're getting back in here and on radio and doing this awesome interview with you, I'm going to hand it over to my co-host, Rob, and he's got plenty of good questions for you.
All right, cool.
How are you, big guy?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Good, good. So, OTA's just started. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. We just just finished our first week of OTA. Got out there with the rookies we drafted and signed as free agents. So it was good to be back out there.
Okay, sounding good. So, looking at it, what are your upcoming goals for this season?
As a team, we definitely want to win a few more games than we did last year, and put ourselves in a position to, compete for the division and compete to be in the playoffs and all that. So, it starts right now and starts at getting together with the quarterbacks and at the offense and making moves in the right direction.
I like how you said that. There might be a me and team, but it's always a team effort to get that W. But like you said, even though you guys did have a tough season last year, what were the positives that you saw out of it?
I think we had a lot of positives. I think we were close. We were close in a lot of games, and from our own opinions, I think that the lockout and things like that with the new coaching staff last year kind of hindered us a little bit. So, we're taking advantage of OTAs, again, like I said, right now, and we'll take advantage of the mini camp coming up. Those are things that we didn't have last year with a brand new coaching staff. So, I think we'll be better. Now,
looking at your size and comparing your size to like Andre Johnson, what is it like being the smaller size wide receiver out there compared to the big guys? Is it a disadvantage or is it an advantage?
Well, I have no idea what it feels like to be a bigger receiver, so I don't know if I can quite compare it. But it's obviously different, and I'm asked to do different things than a bigger receiver is asked to do. So there's its advantages. Certainly being my size and being able to run some quicker hitting routes on the inside. So yeah, there's definitely advantages.
Mm-hmm. Now we all notice, or we all seen or heard about the death of Joe Pa, and just seeing that you were a graduate of Penn State, you were in the top 5 in the receiving in that Penn State history. I hear about everyone saying about the good things about Joe Pa, but to hear it from a player like you, it would be really great. So could you tell me a little bit about what it was like being coached by Joe Paterno?
Sure. Coach Paterno changed. Did not only change the culture in State College and State community, but he changed the culture of college football. So it was a blessing to be able to play for him, and a blessing to know him and get to know his family also. So all the way around, it's unfortunate not to have him here with us anymore. But he certainly lives on. Through the way I play the game of football and through the way I handle myself as a young man, and through the way that things will continue to grow at Penn State.
Who was the first person to bring football to your attention?
My dad. My dad is a college football coach himself. So he, when I was born, he was still in college playing at University of Hawaii. So I've been a part of football since I was born, and it's been a part of me.
I'll pass it over to my host, Mike Pendleton.
Jordan, how's it going, man? So you're talking about, like you said, you were raised in Hawaii, isn't it Hawaii? But what is that like? In a sense, you're not like casted away from everybody, but in a sense, everyone goes, well, yeah, let's go to Hawaii. It's a vacation. What is it like living there and growing up there?
Well, it's a beautiful place. I was born there and lived there about 6 years. So I wasn't quite raised there, but I was kind of raised all over the place. But it's different than the mainland, that's for sure. And there's a lot of good football talent that comes out of the islands, and I think it's pretty apparent in the NFL as far as guys from the islands that are playing.
Oh, which island did you grow up yourself, or not grow up, but which island were you born on?
I was born on Oahu in Honolulu.
Okay, all right. So you got the nice Paradise Island.
Hey, if you say so.
Speaking of paradise, I know your team probably feels like it hit the jackpot this year as you're talking about OTAs and, the trade for Trent Richardson. You wrapped up week 1, and I'm not going to say me personally how big of a fan I am because that might just be a little too weird, but you're a teammate of him. What's it like seeing Trent line up there at running back for you guys?
It's been awesome so far. We obviously expect a lot out of him, and he's a great football player. So we're excited. I'm excited to see him when we get some pads on and see what he can do with some contact. Because I've watched him on TV. I watched him when they played Penn State the past few years. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to have to block for him, right?
Yeah.
He is built like a man, but we all know that wide receivers do the blocking too. It's not just fullbacks. Speaking of blocks, playing in the AFC North, you were even talking yourself about some of the great talent that is displayed throughout the league. Obviously, one of those, Troy Polamalu. What is it like being in probably the toughest, most hard-hitting division, and do guys like Ray Lewis and Troy Polamalu, do they really change the way you have to play your game as far as a wide receiver? Hello?
I think we lost him, Mike.
All right. We did lose him. I'm trying to get him back on here. I don't know why it's not coming up. Hey, Mr. Norwood, you with us again?
Yeah, I'm actually en route to Penn State right now and finding myself on a little back road. Hopefully I don't lose service again.
Okay, yeah, no problem. But I was just commenting on, do players like Troy Polamalu and Ray Lewis, do they change the way you have to play your game as a wide receiver?
Players like that, and all defenses pose different problems, and that's why we game plan every week and watch film and learn how to attack defenses and individuals on the defense. So, surely playing against guys like Troy and Ray, make sure you have your head on a swivel and are aware of where they're at.
And as we talk about those hard hits, we obviously don't like to dwell on bad past memories, but one of the most recognizable things was the Rose Bowl game where you took a huge hit from Taylor Mays, and obviously the biggest concern in the NFL recently has been concussions. As a player like yourself who has received a hard hit, which I believe you did have a concussion after the hit, do you like the steps that the NFL is taking towards helping the players out who have concussions? Your quarterback last year, Colt McCoy, went through the same thing as well.
Yeah, there's certainly steps that need to be taken to ensure player safety, and it's tough to do without taking away too much from the game because it's a violent sport, and like that Rose Bowl hit I took, which I came back in the game and scored the next series. I didn't leave the game, but it's tough not to have those things happen, and from my perspective, that's if you don't want to get hit like that. In some instances, don't play the game of football, but there do need to be steps taken to ensure that players are safe and the gear that we wear is as safe as possible.
Now, the atmosphere in Cleveland is always a diehard crowd, win or lose, even the negative comments. I mean, you guys are the dog pound more than any other place or any other team in the NFL. What have the Cleveland fans really helped out as far as – because, I mean, most people should know if they've followed your career, you've been cut, you've been undrafted, you've been brought back, so you bounced around, but you fought through adversity. And how have the fans in Cleveland really helped you through that time?
It's been awesome. I mean, like you said, I bounced around, got cut a couple times, came to Cleveland first, got cut, went to Philadelphia for a year, got cut, and came back to Cleveland. So it's been a little bit of a road for me. And, I mean, there's been adversity for the Cleveland fans also. So I guess they know a little bit of what I'm going through personally. So, I mean, all that being said, I mean, we all want to win, and we all want to push through the adversity and have winning seasons and playoff-bound seasons and Super Bowl seasons. So, that's what we're all, I mean, that is the name of the game, is winning. So we're working towards that right now.
Now, would you say through the adversity you had continued your career with a chip on your shoulder?
I wouldn't say that. I don't think that. I mean, I would like to think that whether I got drafted in the first round or if I was undrafted like I was, I'd like to think that I would come into to a training camp and work just as hard as I have been. And I mean, I think that's what I would do. So I don't know if there's any chip on my shoulder, but I certainly do want to make the football team every year and want to contribute to wins on Sundays.
Well, you definitely, Coach Shermer, keep a spot here for Mr. Jordan Norwood. Let's get into some fun questions. I mean, I'm loving the way this interview is going. You're a great, humble player, and that's something sometimes very hard to find in the NFL. Now, I'm not sure if everyone knows, but you acknowledge your dad is a football coach, a collegiate football coach from none other than Baylor. And week 15 this year, the Washington Redskins come to town, and some Baylor quarterback named Robert Griffin, I've never heard of the guy, is going to be in the dog pound. Is there going to be any trash talking between you and your dad and letting them know that your team's going to pull out the victory over one of his former players?
Hey, I mean, I would hope that my dad wouldn't root against me just for somebody that went to his college. But, it'll be fun. And that's one of the things about playing at this level is getting to play against, guys that you know from college or guys that you even went to college with. So, I certainly look forward to I guess you said it's week 16. I don't even know what week it is. But I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to some trash talk with my dad and my little brother who goes to Baylor right now. So I look forward to that.
Now, are you going to ask your dad for any secret tips on how RG3 plays so you could give a little shout-out to the Cleveland defense there and tell Joe Hayden how to pick him off, or is that on Joe's part there?
Yeah, I'll ask my dad. I mean, my dad is on the defensive side of the ball down at Baylor, so he's at the line up across from, or line his defense up across from Robert Griffin quite a bit. So I'll definitely be poking in my dad's head and seeing what tips I can give our defense.
I love it. A family constructed on football is always a great family. Now, away from football, everybody's got, I work out 24/7. I'm a student of the game, and that may be very well true for you. But what are some of the other things outside of football that Jordan Norwood does on his off days? Hello?
You stumped him.
It says he's still on air. Mr. Norwood, you still here? And he's dropped. Okay, so we're going to try and get him back on really quick. First off, I just want to thank him again for the opportunity to do this interview. I'm really looking forward to it. We have just a couple more questions, but seriously, it's going to be one hell of a football season. And I think Jordan Norwood's story really, puts it all in perspective. As he may wear an NFL uniform, but it's an everyday fight. Rob, so far, what are your thoughts on Mr. Jordan Norwood?
He's very humble.
Let's hold that thought. Didn't mean to cut you off, but he is back on. I didn't mean to throw such a challenging question there at you. But we were just, so, like I said, outside of football, Mr. Norwood, what do you do on your off days?
I was saying that I'm the type to sit down and watch Netflix or sit through a whole season of some show just all day. But, other than that, I do some graphic design work that was part of my major in college, and watching horse racing. Those few things.
Wow, hey, I think Full Scale Sports is going to need a new logo here pretty soon, so maybe we could work something out on that.
I can do that.
But what is something people don't know about you? I mean, obviously that's kind of a follow-up question to what you do on your off days, but I mean, everybody knows you as a football player. But what is something that people may not know about you?
That's a tough question. I mean, I love my family. I'm proud of all my siblings. My older brother plays basketball overseas and played in the Final Four. My little brother plays football at Baylor. A younger sister who's on the dance team down at George Mason University, and another younger brother who's in high school right now down in Texas. So I'm a big fan of. A little bit of a big family and very proud of my siblings.
So you have a big sports family, a big sports successful family.
That's what it looks like.
Well, hey, one thing that we like to do, as far as Rob and myself like to do, whenever we get players recently, if the situation is available, we like to always offer, and it does happen this year, you guys, because I won't be getting into a school there in New Jersey. Rob's in New Jersey. But week 5, you guys will be in town to play the New York Giants. And, obviously we're going to hopefully stay in touch. And, I'm definitely going to support you. I know Rob will as well throughout your entire career, no matter where you may be. But if allowed.
I appreciate that. that.
If we could set up that week 5, we like to do a little something before, obviously, Sunday's game when you guys are in Rutherford there to take on the Super Bowl champs. It's always nice to interview, but it's even better to establish that journalist and player relationship. So we would definitely like to meet you week 5.
Yeah, certainly. If you guys can make it over there, and I don't see why I can't stop by and say what's up to you guys.
That's awesome. I know, Rob, you had a question about, as we talk about him going on the road, I know you had a question for Jordan as far as playing on the road. You go ahead and ask that.
Yes, thank you. What's your favorite city to play away game in? Would it be PA? Being a Penn State grad?
I love playing in Pittsburgh. Just with the atmosphere there. We played on Thursday night this past year, so that was a pretty unique atmosphere, and got a lot of my college buddies out to the game and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
Now, you did go to Penn State. What chose Penn State maybe over Baylor? Was Baylor a selection when you were going to decide which college you were going to go to football for?
No, I did not have very many opportunities, to be honest. I could have went to Penn State or played football and basketball at schools like Bucknell or William & Mary. So, one of the coaches at Penn State, Kenny Carter, who was the receivers coach at the time, pretty much told me not to settle for less and go for it in terms of playing Division I football. Because I was even smaller than I was right now, and things like that. So I'm glad he pushed me to do that.
I read something about you, Jordan, that Joe Paterno liked your leadership on the basketball court, and that's what really extended the relationship to bring you a part of the football team. And I could just tell from this 22-minute interview Just you do fight through adversity, and you are a humble character, and your leadership, whether you may not be the number one right now in Cleveland, but you never give up, and I think that's a really special message, not just, as you said, for like your siblings, but for any football player who might be watching. They go, I've always liked Jordan Norwood, but what happens if I'm in his position? Well, your position is at the top of the receiving list at Penn State, one of the most heralded football schools in the history, and, your name's at the top there. So definitely collegiate success. And like I said, fighting through adversity is part of major success in the NFL. And I would just like to personally say I'm a huge fan, especially after today. I mean, I've known you. I'm not going to lie. I logged in my fantasy football team last year, or from last season, and you were on my roster. And once we got this interview, I kept you on the roster. And, everyone's like, well, you got to have room for your other players. So I'm making room for Jordan Norwood. So you're definitely on my team. But you know what? We're looking forward to Week 5, hopefully getting out and meeting you, and maybe we'll be in touch about some graphic design. I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity to interview you, and you know what? Go Browns.
I appreciate it, man. Go Browns, and I appreciate you guys bearing with me on losing cell phone service and everything.
Not a problem. Like I said, we're just we'll take it. We'll have a little dinner or something on Jordan Norwood Week 5. We'll find the best steak in New Jersey.
That'll work.
All right, man. You take it easy. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
All right.
Before you leave, can you just have a shout-out to Full Scale Sports and say this is Jordan Norwood and you're listening to Full Scale Sports Radio? Yeah,
this is Jordan Norwood, Cleveland Browns wide receiver, and you're listening to Full Scale Sports Radio.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And like I said, we'll be in touch, and good luck this season.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care, guys.
You too.
Take care.